name is Bersha Anderson. I'm comm faculty at the college, and I'm also our college's Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Engagement Director. And so thank you all so much for joining us today for our presentation on muralism with Laura Thurbon.
Yes, Laura Thurbon is a professional artist, muralist, and a seasoned art educator. Her primary studies were in Lima, Peru, graduating after 8 years of intense instruction at the National Fine Arts School of Lima. Laura has won many art awards, and her artwork is part of several collections globally in the United States, South America, Europe, Israel, and India. She has many published works and public murals around Arizona. Laura has also provided art education for students in the K-12 private and charter schools and adult education courses in the community college for more than 20 years. With an impressive track record of accomplishment, working in public relations, marketing, education, and as an independent business owner, Laura leverages her extensive experience, contemporary marketing skills, her knowledge of cultural diversity, and her classical art education as vehicles with which to engage people of all ages in the artistic experience. Laura also believes in the spirit of community and has donated her talents on many occasions to philanthropic organizations, such as Child Crisis Arizona, Harvest Compassion Center, St. Vincent de Paul, and Family Promise, just to name a few. And it helps women heal from abuse, engaging her art therapy knowledge and skill. With that, I'd like to present Laura Thurbon Ortega.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting women that create art and women that create the future of our country. At the beginning of times, like you saw Lascaux and all these incredible caves that we can see in Spain and France. Actually, what is incredible about muralism is that you can even look at the murals, and even at that time, 30,000 years ago, human communicated with symbols, right? So these symbols were and are still something that we can understand. So it has been 30,000 years till now, we're still exactly the same. We are beings that we translate our emotions and our patterns and our behaviors, whatever we're doing through symbols. So you can see in the caves that they're like hands and they're like hunting and they're animals. So those symbols we can recognize it 30,000 years after, and we can still see, oh yeah, this is the way they live. The same happens now with the murals that we create. Now, when Los Tres Grandes, when Mexico, the revolution started, that is when not only it was something for beautifying, but also it was a self-expression of a political aspect. I admire a lot Diego Rivera, and by the way, Diego Rivera was the husband of Frida Kahlo, and Frida Kahlo is a Mexican woman artist that was the rebellious woman of her time, dressing like a man, acting like a guy, smoking with all the male artists. She was the rebel of her time, and her artwork is so heartfelt, it's so deep, and the roots of this art is about her hurt, and the hurt comes from that guy, yes, from Diego Rivera. That is the guy that hurt her. So he's not a good husband, but he was an amazing artist. And I admire that he had a voice that was so powerful. Rockefeller Jr. asked Diego Rivera to make an artwork. He made a sketch then when he started painting, and he did frescoes. So let me explain a little bit before I continue with the story about the frescoes. So frescoes are paint, they're pigments that you have to apply it while the wall is drying. So you do it like in parts, and then the painting becomes part of the wall, literally. And then like changing the mural that he created into something against empire. And of course, Rockefeller didn't like that, right? So one day he was painting, and the police arrived, paid him the money that he had been, that they own him, and took him out, kicked him out, and then they chipped the whole mural. That means they had to get rid of the whole wall. Diego Rivera he was very upset, of course, about it. Of course, he took a big risk because he started painting people, little bits about Russia and Lenin and, all these people that probably Rockefeller will not appreciate having his mural, right? So he was upset, and in revenge, he went to Mexico, and in the Palace of the Arts in Mexico, he recreated the artwork. But then he recreated it like this. You can see like the stars and all like the discoveries at the time. On this side you can see bacteria, and you can see things that we can only look in the microscope. And there's linen there, and yeah, put it there. And there is the Red Square in Moscow. So very revolutionary. He also added Rockefeller Jr. there. And he is in the middle of all the rich people that are not even aware of what's going on around them. In these parts that are like the microscopic, and we have all viruses and things like that, he actually, in the little tiny viruses that you cannot see here, but also put the face of Rockefeller there. And the virus that he painted Rockefeller's face, it was syphilis. What a revenge. Banksy, we really do not know who he is. That this person in the 1990s was the one that made people understand that graffiti mural can be also art. Because until then, graffiti mural that started like in the 60s and 70s had a really negative connotation. It was not beautiful, it was just words, but still, it was carrying a message, right? So what he did is he made graffiti art something that people can appreciate and transform it into something beautiful. So beautiful and so much that one of his sketches in London, and it was an auction, and then somebody paid over $1 million for this little tiny piece of artwork, and it was framed. So the minute that it got sold, nobody knew that this frame had a mechanism inside. The mechanism was to shred the painting. And in the middle of like all these rich people, the painting started shredding, and everybody started like, as you can imagine, you are paying $1 million for a drawing like this, and then it gets shredded in front of your eyes. So everybody tried to stop it, and it was like a show, because even sirens were going on. It was like the show. The machine stopped midway, but the machine stopped halfway. So then there was like this debate: should we charge half for that? For that? So that talking about graffiti, I would like to share a little video about graffiti. This is my favorite graffiti around the world. I hope you enjoy it. You can see graffiti art got really popular around the world, and now it's a type of art, and it's something that it's just incredible how some artists can just do whole murals in big buildings, beautifying the city. And actually nowadays, if there's an artwork, a mural, and the muralists start being famous, that will be, if it's a public mural, people cannot paint over it because it's something that it's so valuable. So murals can just also change, not only like beautifying, making it pretty, changing your atmosphere, but also it can add like a certain amount of value in your home or your business. For me to transfer into a big space, usually I don't transfer it, usually I just eyeball it. I have always like see a big space and I can see already like the drawing there. I want to talk about artists in Arizona. So we have incredible artists here in Arizona. Is that if you don't know about them, try to follow them, because we artists need support of the public. We need people that will support us and support what we are trying to recreate. And recreate not only for ourselves and our souls, but usually an artist will take the voice of many people and try to translate it in a piece of art. I created this video especially for you, and it has like maps, addresses, and it has some tags for the artist. So you can actually, if you are like, one day you can just go and say, okay, today I'm gonna do something, I'm bored, let's do something, let's grab the car, drive around, see all these murals, see this beauty, and you can also go to the internet, follow these artists, their creations are amazing. So as you can see, I tried to get like as many muralists and also to show that in the community, we can send messages to the community about, equality and love and unity and peace. I have one more video to share with you, but this video is a little private. Not that private, but a little private. So many people think that an artist just sits down and waits for the inspiration to come. And then when you're inspired, you can paint. Actually, being a muralist is like another job, any other job. You wake up early and you go to work, and you are not going to, find inspiration. Inspiration, it's found by working. Well, the truth is that it's just another career, and it's another, job, and it's a job that, of course, I personally enjoy a lot, love it with my heart, because I can bring happiness. I think that to me, it's not that I enjoy the producing the art. I think that what I enjoy is the effect that it gives on people. This video is about one day in my life. I hope you enjoy it. It's 4 in the morning. Saying goodbye to my dog. This is my art storage. With home bar supplies here. It's my car. Boxes with paint, leathers. Okay, we don't drive. Hurry. It is getting lighter and lighter so early. I need to beat the heat if I want to work several hours in the morning. But I have to have enough light. So sometimes it's hard, especially here in Arizona, to work in the desert under the sun. If you are 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours like me under the sun, it's hard to see. So yeah, I'm pouring paint. As you can see, and this is what happens when you are pouring paint in the heat and you put your microbalance. So the paint gets stuck to the floor and below my paint. It's hard, sweaty, nothing fancy about me after I finish working. My body is pouring paint. My hands, my knees, my clothes, my hair, my legs, it's witness, and my blood. So I'm really, really thankful for the blessing of having work right now. Summer is a good time to have work, to be honest. It goes down though, definitely. But right now I'm taking advantage of it, and now I am driving to Phoenix. That's one day in an artist's life. So in Arizona, okay, so imagine starting really early and being 12 hours in the sun. It's crazy. I mean, the second hour in the sun, I'm like, I cannot do this. But yeah, it's a job and it's great. Sometimes I have clients that they want indoors murals, and that's great. But if there's going to be a public mural, then usually in Arizona it's really hard. But it's very uplifting too, because sometimes I'm painting and there's people that stop the car, say hello, they say, motivate, like they just tell you something that is motivating, and you're like, oh, this is great, this is good, people are gonna enjoy it, people are gonna pass by and it's gonna make them happy. There's people that say, the colors are so bright, and today in the morning I was like feeling down, and just the colors pick you up.
The question is if the videos will be shared. So the videos will be shared during the day?
Yeah, well, you can go to YouTube, just look Laura Thurbon art on art lessons, and all my videos are there. So you can just go ahead, please subscribe, please share, please like, thank you. Social media is a really good way of an artist to make a living, so I appreciate all your support and help. Thank you so much, thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura. And so yeah, please do access her videos. And I know the video she showed us some of the spots that we can go check out murals in the city. One that's always beautiful to me is walking along the canal, because that was a huge undertaking a couple years ago that the city took on to really accent all the artists in the community. So if you find yourself near the canal, you can start at 7th Ave in the Melrose District and head west towards 15th Avenue right along the canal, and you can see about 30 to 40 different murals along that space. And thank you again, Laura, so much. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and if you can join us for some of our future events, that would be wonderful. We do have a photography presentation, I think right at noon, so that one's coming up really quick. And then we do have some sugar skull building on Monday, and then 2 music events on Friday and Saturday of this week put on by our fine and performing arts faculty. So please do check those out, and thank you again for your time today.